It was supposed to be the perfect Christmas getaway, me, my wife, and our 2 kids. We'd been planning it for months, a weekend trip to New York. We found this cozy-looking Airbnb, not too far from the city but far enough to enjoy some peace and quiet during the holidays. The host had great reviews, and it looked just like the kind of place you'd want to be snowed in at. We were running late because the roads were already getting bad from the snowstorm that started earlier in the day. By the time we pulled into the driveway, it was dark and the wind was howling. The house looked a little different from the pictures. Not worse, just more worn down. But that didn't bother me too much. The snow was coming down hard, and we weren't about to turn around and try to find another place. As soon as we got inside, something felt off. It wasn't the smell or anything obvious, just the way the house felt, like it wasn't quite empty. My wife, Maria, headed upstairs with the kids to check out the bedrooms while I stayed in the kitchen, unpacking a bit. That's when I noticed stuff. Personal stuff. A jacket draped over one of the chairs, shoes near the front door, a half-empty coffee cup on the counter, still warm. It was like someone had been here and just left. But no one should have been. The listing said the house would be clean and ready for us. I figured maybe the cleaning crew didn't finish, or someone from the last rental hadn't checked out on time. So, I tried calling the owner. No answer. I called again. Still nothing. The snow outside was really piling up, and I could barely get a signal on my phone. We were stuck. I told Maria what I'd found, and she shrugged it off, said maybe they were rushing because of the storm. She tried to make it feel less weird, like we were just overthinking it. But I could see the unease in her eyes. We got the kids settled upstairs and figured we'd just make the best of it. A few hours later, we were all downstairs by the fireplace. The kids were already half asleep when we heard it, footsteps. Heavy, deliberate footsteps from upstairs. We both froze. I tried to play it off like it was just the wind or the old house settling, but it was too clear for that. It was someone walking upstairs. I motioned for Maria to stay with the kids, and I quietly grabbed the closest thing I could find, a fireplace poker. My heart was pounding as I crept up the stairs. I could hear the footsteps again, slow and deliberate, but there was no light on up there. It didn't make sense. There was no way someone could have gotten in without us hearing or seeing it. We were in the middle of nowhere, and the snowstorm was raging outside. I checked the bedrooms, the bathroom, everywhere. Nothing. No sign of anyone. The kids' room was undisturbed, and Maria was downstairs waiting, wide-eyed. I was about to head back downstairs when I heard it again, footsteps, but this time they were faster, like someone was running. And they weren't coming from inside the house anymore. They were outside, in the snow, circling the house. I could see the shadows passing by the windows, and I swear there was more than one. I ran down to Maria, trying to keep calm, but we were both on edge now. We locked every door and window we could, and the kids were up, scared out of their minds. We told them it was just a bad storm and that we were safe inside. But I didn't believe it. The noises, the stuff we found, it all added up to something being wrong. Then, the lights flickered. Just for a second, but it was enough to make my stomach drop. Maria grabbed her phone, trying to call anyone, police, the owner, whatever, but nothing was going through. We were completely cut off. I don't know how long we sat there, just listening to the wind and the occasional thud or scrape outside. It felt like forever. But then, there was a loud bang from upstairs. It sounded like someone slammed a door. I grabbed the poker again, telling Maria to stay put with the kids. I slowly made my way back up the stairs, my whole body tense. I don't think I've ever been that scared in my life. Every creak of the floorboards felt like a gunshot in my ears. When I got to the top of the stairs, the door to the master bedroom, the one me and Maria were supposed to sleep in, was wide open. It had been closed before, I was sure of it. My first instinct was to go in, to see if anyone was there, but something stopped me. I stood there, staring into the dark room, my hand gripping the doorframe, and for the first time that night, I felt like we were in real danger. I backed down the stairs, as quietly as I could, trying not to let my fear show. When I got back to Maria and the kids, I told them to get their coats. We had to leave. I don't know what I thought we'd do, where we'd go in the middle of a snowstorm, but I just knew we couldn't stay there. As we bundled the kids up, we heard something. A loud knock. Not at the front door, but at the window. A slow, deliberate knock, like someone was just standing there, waiting. I grabbed the poker, Maria grabbed the kids, and we ran for the door. I didn't care about the snow or how bad it was. We needed to get out. As we stepped onto the porch, I glanced back at the house one last time. There was a figure, standing in the window, watching us leave. I didn't stick around long enough to see who, or what, it was. We spent the rest of the night in the car, engine running for heat. We drove as far as we could until we found a small hotel. We never went back to that house, and the owner never returned our calls. To this day, I don't know who was in that house or why they were there. But I know one thing, I'll never rent another Airbnb during a snowstorm again.